Futsal podcast number 32. My name is Caro, known social media as The Doctor, and I'm your host. And I'm here today with Ken Cantrill, Head of Creative of Xentrix Studio Australia. Ken, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
For you guys that don't know just yet, we're going to be talking lots. We're going to be talking about the Futzees and also Ken's background and history. But for who doesn't know, Futzees could be the game changer to make futsal big. Is that right, Ken?
Absolutely, that's the plan. It's to connect with the up and coming futsal stars. We're going to try to find the next Andre, right? So definitely the Futzees are going to be targeted at the younger kids.
The next Falcão, Armandinho, I would say,
Correct.
Not too much me, but I appreciate it. When I first heard about the Futzees and I watched the teaser episode of Futzees, I got super excited, and that got me to contact you and start chatting with you. But Ken, before we get right into Futzees, just share with us who you are and a little bit of our history.
So as you said, my name's Ken, and I'm the head of creative at Xentrix Studios here in Melbourne, Australia. Xentrix Studios is part of a bigger monster, which is Xentrix, just Xentrix Studios in India. They have studios in Manila, Singapore, Vancouver. Recently opened up in Dubai, and obviously us in Australia. So we're prolific content creators. Xentrix Studios, the main company. They're sort of more like service providers. We've been working with DC, Marvel, Nickelodeon, Warner Brothers. All the major Disney, all the major houses around the world. So we Xentrix Studios Australia is essentially the only creative hub under the Xentrix brand. So we have brought all of our IP across to Xentrix Studios, and one of those IPs are the Futzees. So essentially my job is to come up with concepts, make them viable, get them to a stage where Peter Visca, my CEO here in Melbourne, and our team here then pulls out everything from my head and puts it down in paper and makes it happen.
So you come up with the idea, and then Peter and the team makes the idea reality. Is that how it works?
Yeah, look, it's Peter's instrumental in the development of the idea. It's Peter's always said that he's the guy that pulls the stuff out of my head and makes it palatable. So yeah, it's be fair to say that we've got a million ideas and they're all fluffing around in my head, and then I sort of sketch them out and write them down, and then Peter just takes them to a whole new level.
When did you start working with Peter?
In 2004, we had a TV series called Jack. We were invited to take that series to Cannes and pitch it at the International Licensing Challenge at a festival called MIPCOM. And it was our TV series, our idea came second in the world. We came back here and tried to raise some capital to get that TV series off the ground. We ended up selling that TV series to a Canadian animation studio, and they made 104 episodes. So that was my introduction to the industry back in 2004.
2004. It's Peter. I haven't had the chance of meeting Peter, but he reminds me a lot of my grandpa. My grandpa was an artist back in Brazil, and just the way that his mind works. I told you when I first met you, he's just like, I can tell that he's got so much knowledge and ideas, and he thinks before he talks. So that reminds me a lot of my grandpa. Is that right about Peter?
100%. Unlike me, I always talk before I think, and it gets me into trouble. But he's been in this industry for 40 years. He knows it backwards. He's synonymous in the animation industry here in Australia, and if not internationally, wherever he goes, everyone knows him. But he's a really good sounding board, and we just seem to connect beautifully on a creative level.
That's nice to hear. Now, Futzees. What is Futzees?
Futzees
who are the Futzees?
Look, Futzees, they're a mischievous bunch of troublemaking, futsal-loving aliens that just want to get into trouble all the time, and they're pranksters. We've got two teams. We've got the red team and the yellow team. They come from a planet called Futzonia, and all they do, this whole planet, this whole existence or environment is just futsal, and they live and breathe futsal, but they don't play by the rules. They try to outsmart their opposition, not just with skills, more with practical jokes as well.
Now you guys know why I got so excited when I first heard it. Let's get to watch the pilot now, and we have a chat again. If you guys are listening to the podcast, you can pause and skip it, or just go to my YouTube channel and watch the video. Ken, when did you come across futsal for the first time? And I'm going to put it the second question straight away. How did you come up with Futzees?
Well, it's actually related to that conversation with the question you were just going to ask. I met Antonio Fuentes in Singapore at a bar. Funny enough, and I asked. I said, "Oh, he was wearing all his his nice outfit," and I kind of saying, "Oh, look, what's all this about?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, I represent Federation of Australian Futsal." I actually never heard I had no idea what futsal was. I don't know, got no idea. Anyway, so we just got chatting, and after a couple of nice Guinnesses, we said, "Wow, we should do something together. You guys are an animation studio, and we're a federation for futsal." And he goes, "Well, how do we make futsal cool? Like, how do we make it popular?" And I went, "Well, to make it popular, you need to attract the kids. You need to get the next generation that are moving through the sport engaged and excited about what we're doing." And anyway, so I came back here, and it took us a little while. It's back and forth a little bit, and then Peter and I just came up with. Well, Peter came up with the idea with the Futzees. That was his brainchild, and we kind of like the Futzees. They're sort of like minions meet oddballs. And we kind of like that they're not too complicated. We wanted the characters to be quite simple, so we can just have millions of them, and they all look sort of similar but not similar. So, and we kind of wanted to have that little cheeky aspect to them, which I think we've achieved that really well.
You have achieved that very well. Of course, we just seen the pilots. But where can you see Futzees being taken to?
Well,
what could be a story of the Futzees for the cartoon later on?
Well, look, the Futzees are going to be it's not just a TV series. It's going to be a fully integrated, self-contained futsal ecosystem that consists of, a TV series, digital collectibles, junior development program, merchandise. So it's going to be the whole box and dice. So the story of the Futzees, well, that's yet to that's yet to be established. But right now, it's we're just getting so much so much attention just for the teaser. So where it's going to go, I don't know. It's that's an exciting part, I think.
You don't know where it's gonna go, but you know the roadmap. All right, so let's just go to be through the roadmap.
Yeah, so the roadmap is essentially we're going to be running out a whole NFT program. So the NFT program will be integrated in with hopefully with the World Cup, the Ladies World or the Women's World Cup in Colombia in October. We're planning on launching the Futzees at that event. We're speaking with the AMF at the moment about having the Futzees as a mascot at the World Cups. So that's potentially a very, very exciting release for the Futzees. There's going to be a game coming out where we've already got a game in development where
a game as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a Footsies game. It's going to be skill set driven. So magnificent coaches like yourself will be able to take the game and use the game as to try to teach the kids how to kick to a corner or how to kick.
So let's just hold on a little bit there. Just go be deeper. When you say that it's a Footsies game, is that you say skills? So is that going to be a match like 5 against 5 or you have to achieve skills? Can you just
it's going to be
your idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a skill set game. So it means that you have to get through challenges. So to progress throughout the game, you have to start at beginner, then go to intermediate, and then advance right through. And I've been watching a lot of your magnificent instructional videos. So imagine your instructional videos, but in a game format. I guess it's just about how do you teaching the kids about what to do, and then they can go out and actually do it on training as well. So whatever they're doing in training, like as I said, kicking to the top corner, there's going to be a component of being able to do that in the game. And if they don't get 8 out of 10, then they can't progress and they come back and re-practice. So it's more of an interactive skills game as opposed to just a fun entertainment thing.
That's very exciting because as we know, as us coaches, we can manage to keep the attention of the kids for maybe an hour. But when kids are watching a screen, they can stay in front of the screen the whole day just and focus on that screen. If we can manage to combine them both, that's the game changer, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's we want to take the screen time and make it and make it valuable, make it interactive and educational. So. And also, we want to have rules of futsal as well encompassing the game, so they understand about how to play the game the right way, how to play the game with good sportsmanship, how to play the game ethically. So this is all going to happen in the game, in the online game. So it's all about it's pretty much like a progression of starting futsal and working right up to being a professional. There's a big journey there. So we want to encapsulate that journey in the game. So it's not just going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be educational at the same
time. With the NFTs is something that really excites me as well, because I've been studying a lot of NFTs for the past few months. I listen to lots of podcasts and opportunities that the NFTs can open up. The first question I want to ask you is how have the NFTs changed the way you guys work, the cartoonists work?
In our industry as a whole, well, look, it's a game changer. NFTs are a game changer for us, and I think that a lot of media companies that have embraced NFTs would agree with me to say that, traditionally we would spend a lot of money developing a concept like you've seen now with the Futzees. So just say that might cost us $100,000 to get that to a point. Then we have to take that trailer and then take it to market. Then that costs a lot of money because you have to fly to all over the world meeting people. Then you get a buyer, say a commercial TV network. Then the commercial TV network will give you a certain amount of money. Then you've got to go and raise the full budget. Then you got to produce it. Then you've got to, then it's got to go on TV for a certain period of time. Then you start a merchandising campaign around that because it's got a following. The whole NFT space now is flipped that. It's brought the merchandise first and the TV show second. So for us, it's shifted the power from the traditional paradigm of what I just explained to actually having a great NFT program and build a massive community around the NFT program, and then you back the TV series on after that as utility for the program for the NFT program. Sorry. So for us, it's this NFT space is very exciting, but it's got to be done right. Like, the NFT space now is probably filled with 90% of rubbish, which is probably most things, right? Like but as a lot of people have been saying, or like a lot of the experts have been saying online, that 2% of all NFT projects that are currently in operation will survive. The rest will just disappear. And I think that we've got the luxury, being a studio, that we're always going to be able to back our NFTs with something substantial.
Mm-hmm. I think the 2% it will be like people like you guys that have the utility behind the NFT.
Correct.
That you guys are able to produce this TV show for kids that kids love watching, because the kids are gonna love the cartoon, and you're always able to create more cartoons. Ken, you mentioned that there will be junior programs as well, and it's a whole thing. It's not just a TV show. It's a TV show. It's a game. What are the junior programs that you could have?
We're working very, very closely with the FAF, the Federation of Australian Futsal, and also the AMF. We're planning on establishing the future of futsal sort of committee, to sit down and work out what's needed to take futsal to the next level. I think it's a massively growing sport, right? So it's one thing to attract the kids by fun and exciting characters, but once you've got their attention, you really want to start empowering them to understand the game and learn the game. And if we had some sort of structured children's program that is rolled out unilaterally around the world, at least that all the kids are getting taught the same way. And I think that junior sports suffers a little bit because most coaches have their own way of teaching. Sure, it's great to have your own little style and flair that you want to teach, but if there was a structured program for kids running right through juniors, right through to actually playing the game, at least it's sort of a structured program. So look, it's a big task, but the task is underway. So with the discussions of creating a junior program is 100% in motion right now. It's
you're creating a community, creating the programs. The partnership with AMF, it's not with FIFA, it's with AMF. It would be hard to imagine FIFA taking something like this on board because they're more focused on football than futsal. What are the opportunities of being a partner with AMF that gives you?
Look, AMF excites us because we always believe it's the worst house in the best street scenario, right? So if you want to go to the FIFA, you're going to have to knock on doors. It's going to get, but I think that the AMF is ready for something of this nature. The AMF, look, they could be a monster. They could be a powerhouse in this sport if it's done right and if it's done with some sort of professionalism. And I'm not saying they're not professional. I'm just saying if it's done with some sort of strategic plan moving forward, at least the futsal community under the AMF or can move forward as a collective, not as a scattered organisation. So I like the AMF because they're very, very open. They're very open and they're very receptive to what we're doing. And we've shown the AMF the Futzees, and they absolutely love it. The president himself has emailed me saying, or sent me a letter saying, that they want to be involved in this, because they can see that, you know, the plan we have for junior futsal is now set. So just a matter of us now being, you know, utilising what we've got right now and the attention we've got right now to bring as many young kids to futsal as possible.
I think the competition between AMF and FIFA is something that makes the sport bigger. And you guys raising the bar, taking AMF to the next level, will push FIFA to follow you guys. I think that's amazing for everyone. Ken, people that buy the NFTs, let's just go back to the NFTs part. Why should they buy the NFT, thinking a short-term or in a long-term plan?
Why should they buy it?
Yeah.
Well, look, we're going to be producing some very rare NFTs, and that we're going to. And once you buy, so essentially, if you listen to this or watching this and you're not in the NFT market, essentially an NFT is just going to be an avatar. So every single footsie that we sell as an NFT, it'll be a one-off. So
really?
So there'll be only one of those footsies you can buy. So the reason we think they're valuable is because you'll be able to use those futsals as your avatar in our game. So no one else will ever have that avatar, and it's actually tradable, and it becomes quite rare. So the you know, that's, and also the, you know, your avatar could potentially become one of the characters in the TV show, and all of a sudden your NFT is now on TV, and you're going, hang on, that's mine, that's my guy. Yeah, and all of a sudden now you're part of a bigger movement.
That's so many doors that opens. People that buy the NFTs, would they have the business rights of the cartoon as well? So could they, let's say I have the NFT, could I potentially sell merchandise with the NFT?
Look, we're in discussions about what the license arrangement is going to be for our characters. That's something that is a little bit open at the moment. I know there's a lot of NFTs out there that just give you full license. It just depends on if we sell it to a commercial network, or if we sell it, or if we just live stream this ourselves. Not live stream, you know, I mean, I stream these episodes ourselves. Look, once a commercial network gets involved, it becomes a little bit more tricky about what people can do with the brand. So we're currently discussing that at the moment, whether we produce the TV series for ourselves and only keep it for ourselves, or whether we sell it via a traditional distributor / commercial TV network model. Yeah, well, that's still up in the air. So we're probably still a little early for that. But look, also, if you got an NFT, there is going to be benefits of holding NFT. You might get World Cup tickets, you might get special merchandise. So the whole show bag of what you get as a NFT holder, again, is still in discussion, because we've got a lot of sort of partners that are going to be attached to this, and they're going to be providing a lot of value as well. But so before we relaunch the NFTs around the World Cup time, we're going to be launching a mint pass, which is essentially a pre-sale of the NFTs, so you can actually get those early, and then once the NFTs come out, you will get your NFT. But there's only going to be a certain limited number of mint passes, or Footsies membership passes are available, which you can actually register on our website now. But we won't be making available for a sale for about another 2 or 3 weeks.
It's a lot happening. People that want to get involved, I know that you say that they can register, but let's say people like the superstars of the game, Falcão, Ricardinho, those people that, if they want to represent Futzees or be involved with Futzees, can they get involved with Futzees?
Look, we're open. Whatever enhances the futsal community and industry, we're open to it. So the Futzees was developed and born out of the need to create a community for a junior futsal. So it wasn't a commercially driven product, so to speak. Like it was more a product out of necessity and need. But it's turned out to be a really nice little project. But yeah, we're open. We're open for anyone to come and talk to us. We're open. We can maybe have little cameos of professional players coming in and talking to futsal. The footsies, in this industry we were in, nothing's impossible. So yeah,
that excites me. I want to ask you one last question because there's so much we can talk about. The names of the characters, you have Footsies, Fats, Foots, Feet.
Yep.
Did you guys come up with 2,000 of those or not yet?
There's I think we might have painted ourselves into a corner there, but when we first got these guys out, we just wanted them to be all ending Z. But when we've got I think the yellow team are like Yats, Yits, Yots. We might have look, it's we've got a few constants we can use. But at the moment, we've just got two teams, which is yellow and red. But yeah, look, we did come up with the idea because everything was like Futzonia, everything was futsal, everything was, so it was all, we just wanted it to be a little bit quirky and a bit, it starts with F and ends in Z, so to speak.
Understand. Ken, so that'll be it for this first podcast together that we're going to be doing. That was just an intro podcast for the Futzees. What we do is we're going to catch up again in about 1 year and see where you guys are at. How about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, I'd love to come on anytime. We're super excited, and to attract attention of yourself and some people in the industry means I think we're on the right track here.
And for anyone listening to the podcast, guys, you can jump on the website. Let me just bring up the website here. Futzees.io. Is that
Correct.
right? So, yeah. So the Futzees.io. You can find all the information there, the roadmap. You can read about the teams. You can register yourself for the Mint list. So much happening. Ken, Absolutely. It's always a pleasure talking to you, but it was very nice getting to know you a bit more.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And as I said, the next 6 months for the junior futsal industry is we are going to make some waves. I promise you.
I can't wait because the futsal community is a massive community. We say that it's a sleeping giant. It's a massive giant that it's sleeping, and it has so much potential, but it's waiting for someone like you guys to come and just take advantage of that potential.
That's what we're here. So that's why when I was talking to Antonio in Singapore, he said exactly the same thing. He said, well, how do we enhance that? How do we explode what we've already got? And we came up with this idea. So I kind of think that we're, as I said, I think we're on the right track. The Futzees, I want the Futzees to be a household name in the futsal industry.
It's catchy. It's caught my attention, and I think it's gonna catch everyone. Okay, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right, thank you guys, and take care, and everyone stay safe.